Baker Mayfield. Born April 14th, 1995, Baker Mayfield actually started his college football career at the University of Texas Tech, where he would take the starting job as a redshirt freshman. But in 2014, he transferred to the University of Oklahoma, where he would sit out his first season. But in his second season, he showed off his greatness by leading the Sooners to a Big 12 championship and a berth in the college football playoff. But this great season is overlooked by the fact that they lost in the first round of the college football playoff 37-17 to the Clemson Tigers. And Baker Mayfield, I'm sure, is definitely motivated to get back to that situation. And things are looking up for the Sooners, as far as I'm concerned. But standing in his way of getting back to the college football playoff is the 5'11", 180-pound quarterback from Houston, Greg Ward Jr. Greg Ward actually started his career as a wide receiver, where he would stay until the October of his sophomore season when he became the full-time starter as a quarterback. Greg Ward would lead the Houston Cougars to a 13-1 record in 2015, and he also led them to an American Conference Championship and a Peach Bowl victory against the Florida State Seminoles. So after previewing these great quarterbacks, we can now preview the game of the week for Week 1, Oklahoma versus Houston. How's it going, everybody? It's Flash Jordan here. Yes, I know there's a crazy picture of me down there. Don't worry, there's going to be an even crazier one here in a second, but that doesn't matter. This is Week 1 of the college football season. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I do, at least for Week 1. So I'm just going to preview the 10 games, preview my picks. I've already picked them, so I'm going to preview those, ask our insider about some things, and that'll be about it. So the first game we're going to preview is the highlight game of the week, Oklahoma versus Houston. Houston is the only the only group of 5 team that is ranked right now. And they have a lot of momentum coming in from last year with that bowl win against Florida State. They got a lot to be proud of, but I mean, going in Houston, but not at their home field, and there's gonna be a lot of Oklahoma fans, I can guarantee. So it's gonna be a really good game, but in a close battle, I would have to say Oklahoma's gonna win this game. Now we're gonna bring in our insider, Craig Dad Cruz. What do you gotta say about this game?
You've got it right. Houston's a great team, but at the end of the day, they are going to lose. I wish they would win, but I just don't see it happen.
Right. They're the fan favorite, but we all know it's not likely. But hey, anything can happen. Alright. West Virginia and Missouri in Morgantown, West Virginia. Home game for the Mountaineers. Now, Missouri, as you see here, they had consecutive SEC championship game appearances until last year. Everything just fell apart, with injuries and just, not being able to finish games. They fired their coach. Now their defensive coordinator's back. So not back, but he's their head coach now. So not looking good for them. And for West Virginia, they have a great offense, but their defense is my only concern. That said, they are at home, and it's not looking good for Missouri. It's looking a little better for West Virginia, so I'm going with West Virginia. Who you got in that game?
I do have Missouri winning. It's probably the only big upset that I picked. So that's just because Missouri needs a great year. I'm really pulling for them. They had a bad year last year. Lost a lot of people, lost a lot of staff. School went through some problems. I don't really care for West Virginia at all, so I'd like to see them win this game. And I think they can. SEC team, they're going to do well.
Alright, the next game we got here is Hawaii at number 7 Michigan. Now, this game, I'm not sure why it was put here. I mean, I don't know why they don't use like the game on Sunday with Notre Dame and Texas, which is going to be a game for the ages, or the game on Monday between Florida State and Ole Miss, but those games were irrelevant in College Pick'em because College Pick'em only does games on Saturday. So, Michigan, I think, is going to run away with this one. But believe it or not, that's not the game I'm most confident with this week. I'll reveal that in a second. But Hawaii is going to be, they're going to be in full swing. They have a game coming up tomorrow. When this video is posted, it'll be the next day. Against Cal in Australia. So, I think Michigan is going to ultimately take it by a lot. Who you got in that game?
Oh, I have Michigan winning the game, but again, it's another one of those games that I wish Hawaii. Like if Hawaii wins their first game, they might come into this game with momentum. But definitely Michigan. That program just got a lot going on right now in favor for it.
All right, next game, Rutgers versus number 14 Washington. A lot of people think that Washington is overranked. I tend to think they're right. They should have been back a little bit. Now, Washington does have a nice quarterback in Jake Browning, and they do have a nice running back in Myles Gaskin. That said, Rutgers doesn't have that many playmakers on their team. They lose a defensive coordinator to Ohio State, and then they get a former defensive coordinator that came from Ohio State in Chris Ash. So they basically just swapped defensive coordinators. Ohio State and Rutgers did. That said, Rutgers, like Missouri, things aren't looking up for them. And I think ultimately in the end, Washington's going to win, but it may not be by a lot. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I have Washington winning this game too. Rutgers has some good things about them this season, but not enough to win this first game.
Alright, another big game this week. Ranked 16 UCLA Bruins against the Texas A&M Aggies. Personally, I think Texas A&M should be in the top 25, but that's just me. I do have the Oklahoma transfer Trevor Knight, who has a lot of big game experience. When he was like a sophomore or freshman, when they beat Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, but that's irrelevant now. Now he's a starting quarterback at Texas A&M. They also do have one of the best, if not the best, pass rusher in the entire nation right now in Myles Garrett. So things are looking up for the Aggies, and for UCLA, they got a great quarterback in Josh Rosen, who could be a Heisman candidate at the end of the year. That said, Texas A&M always seems to do well in Week 1. That's why I'm taking the Aggies.
Yep, I'm going to have to go with BYU in this one. I'm sorry. Who are they playing?
It's UCLA and Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm going with UCLA in this one.
Yeah. All right, the next game, the number 5 ranked LSU Tigers against the Wisconsin Badgers at Lambeau Field in Wisconsin. It's kind of a home game, or at least home field advantage for Wisconsin, but that really is not going to matter in my book. Technically, it's a neutral site game, but Wisconsin have a lot of fans, but so is LSU. And I think that LSU and Leonard Fournette are just going to run all over the Badgers, but it could be close. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. LSU's got this one. Wisconsin has a chance, but it's pretty slim.
All right, the next game, and this is going to be a good game, I'll have to admit. At 4:30 on Saturday, I don't know about you, or at least on September 3rd, not this coming Saturday, but on September 3rd, I'm going to be tuning in to this game, definitely. Georgia versus number 22, or 18 Georgia versus 22 North Carolina Tar Heels. Tar Heels have a great offense with Marquise Williams, the quarterback, And as you see, they hired Gene Chizik, I think that's how you say his last name, to get their defense going. And they did make it to the ACC Championship last year, which has got to be a momentum boost for them. That said, I think Georgia, who has two great running backs in Nick Chubb and Sony Mitchell. I mean, yeah, Nick Chubb might be a Heisman contender this year. I don't know, depending on injury, but I think Georgia have a solid defense and they have a really good offense, especially on the ground. So I'm gonna pick Georgia in this game, and technically it is in Atlanta, so I mean they're gonna have a good crowd there too.
Yeah. You're talking about North Carolina, right? I think North Carolina could win this game, but I think they're going to end up losing this game just because they had a bad end to last year. I definitely want to say that, give them props, but this game's going to Georgia.
Right. All right, the next game, and this is the game I'm most confident with. You are all waiting for that, I'm sure. Number 1 Alabama against ranked number 20 USC, #overranked Trojans. Now, like it says here, Alabama will have a new starting quarterback for the 3rd straight season. And how many wins did they have in these past 2 seasons when they had a new quarterback?
Yeah.
See, I think they had 14 last year and 12 or 13 the year before. So I'm not doubting Alabama in this one. I think, and here's the thing. When I pick Alabama, they win every single time. When I pick USC, they lose every single time. I mean, I have to go with my heart in this one, because every time I pick USC, they lose. It happened last year when they faced Stanford, and they got blown out. So I'm picking Alabama easily in this one.
Well, I like rooting for the underdog, and I think USC is going to have a good year. Unfortunately, it's going to start off a lot like last year's Stanford versus Northwestern. I think USC can lose this game but have a chance to win every other one. I don't think it's going to put them into the playoffs, but we'll see. Alabama's going to take this one.
All right, the next game, we're getting towards the end here. Ranked number 2 Clemson at the Auburn Tigers. Now, Auburn had a tough start to the season last year. They go in having high expectations, and they barely beat Jacksonville State, who, if you don't know, is an FCS team. They barely beat them. And then the next week, they get just crushed by LSU. I have zero faith in Auburn whatsoever in this game. Again, it's always possible that they could win, but I'm taking Clemson in this game. I think they have a lot of firepower, and I think they'll come back ready to roll.
Yeah. I have to agree with you on that one.
Alright, the final game we're going to do here, the late night game, Arizona at BYU. Now, if you don't remember what happened in BYU's first 2 games last year, then you should probably go look that up, because that has a lot to do with who I'm going to pick here. That said, they do have a new coach, and I'm going to pick him in this game as my big upset of the week.
So BYU versus Arizona is an upset.
Right, I'm picking BYU. As you see here, 71% of all people have Arizona picked in this game. So, I'm just saying that BYU is going to win this game as long as Taysom Hill can stay healthy, which he has not been able to do. And he may not do again because he's just so prone to injury. If he can stay healthy and if he can do his best the entire game, I think that BYU will end up winning this game.
True.
Any last words for the people at home?
Nope. I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
Alright, so thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Google+. I will see all you guys later. Thank you for watching.
All right, later out.